Hey guys, welcome to my art showcase today. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about, hey everybody, I'm going to be talking today, look, you're such a precious baby. Today I'm going to be talking about my I love you, Aphrodite. She loves talking to me, but sorry for the interruption. In today's episode, I am going to be talking about my painting. This 20 by 16 Alice and the Mad Tea Party. So let's get started. Okay. I'll try not to get in the way too much here while I talk about this a little bit. Okay. Like I said, this is a 20 by 16, and I can't, looks like I'm not going to be able to get it all in the picture without getting my body in here. Like I said, this is a 20 by 16, and it's on a piece of canvas. And my favorite thing about this painting is all these anthropomorphic characters, you know, like the March hare and the teapot and teacup and the honey bowl and the sugar bowl. He's a little flirtatious. If you could see his little expression, let me zoom in here for just a second. Here we go. I just think they're so cute. But anyway, but that is one of my most favorite things that I loved about painting. Whoops! About painting this painting. Sorry. I'm just making a mess of this. I try really hard though, you know I do. Now originally I had the tablecloth was black and white, and there were like cupcakes right here and like some toast and stuff right here, and something else was right here, but I can't remember now what it was. I would have to look back at the original sketch that I had out, and I had all of the food painted, and I had that tablecloth painted black and white, but you know, I wanted the attention, you know, focused on these things right here, and of course Alice, but it was like that was so distracting, you know, the black and white tablecloth. And I thought, well, there's probably too much food there because the tablecloth was distracting your eye away from the March hare and Alice and the Mad Hatter and the Dormouse, and too much food down in this area was taken away from this area. You know, all these little characters that I put, you know, facial features and stuff on. But so that's how come this painting took me a real long time to do. I bet this painting's got more painting on it than the Sistine Chapel. But it looks great. You can't tell that the tablecloth was black and white and there was food there before. As much paint as I have on there, you can't tell that. But so I repainted the tablecloth in green, purple, and blue, you know, squares, and I painted out this food that was in this area and just left a few things. I couldn't resist giving the March hare a piece of carrot cake. I don't know. At one time, too, in the original sketch, this area right here where the Cheshire Cat painting is hanging up right there, I originally had a big clock with a face on it, too, and for the minute hand and the hour for the hands on the clock, it was carrots. But then I don't know, I didn't paint that on there. I don't even think I sketched it on there. I may have sketched it on there, and then I thought I just didn't like the way that looked, and I thought, you know, I really want to fit the Cheshire Cat in there somewhere, so I changed my mind, and I just thought, because at that point I had already had the tree branches, the tree branch right here inside the March Hare's burrow, I had already had it painted like this, and I thought, so what am I going to do? I thought, I've got to get the Cheshire Cat in there somewhere, so I just decided to make a painting of him right there. So that was kind of a last minute change. And I know in the original story by Lewis Carroll that Alice didn't actually drink tea or anything, even though the March Hare had actually offered her wine. There, you know, there was no wine, it was just tea. I decided to paint Alice like she was partaking in this tea party and having some tea, and I just couldn't resist putting that little funny face on her teacup, like, oh gosh, that tickles, that tickles. I don't know, I just love that. That's probably, that you might think that's corny, but I just love that. And let's see. I just really love all the colors in this painting, and like I said, a lot of times, I guess that's how come I wanted to paint Alice. I don't typically paint Alice in Wonderland stuff, but you know, that always seems to be a real big thing. All of the great classic literature seems to be coming back in fashion, and has been for a long time. I guess I'm just kind of getting on the bandwagon a little late. But I just wanted to say something about her hair. A lot of you have noticed that in a lot of my paintings, I always make my fairies with blonde hair. Maybe that's because I've got blonde hair, but you would think her hair has actually got about 6 to 8 different shades of blonde. Or yellow, or ochre, whatever you want to say. But I've got about 6 to 8 different shades. It takes a long time for me to paint blonde hair, because I don't like it to look yellow, you know, like cartoon yellow, like a daisy or something. Or not a daisy, like a daffodil. Well, yeah, daisies, they've got a yellow center too. But because I wanted to use the bright yellow to make this look gold, you know, like gold on the teapot and teacup and tea handle. And I actually, just to be perfectly honest, I wished I would have painted this little guy right here just up a little bit further, because the bottom of his teacup, and I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can bring it closer to the camera. The very bottom, I don't know if you can see that without the glare. His little bottom of his little teacup is just right on the very edge of this painting. So I just wanted you to know, if you were interested in purchasing this painting from me, if you frame this, that will more than likely, that right there, the very bottom of that little teacup is going to get covered up. And that, after I finished this painting and even varnished it, I was like, oh no, because I had a hard time scanning this painting. And unfortunately, I will not be able to make prints of this painting. And that is one reason. Because that teacup is so close to the bottom, I can't, the way, because I painted it this way, I really had a hard time, and I worked all day trying to get this painted to skin so I could make prints. I've got it scanned good enough where I can probably make, you know, my little art cards, and you won't notice it that much. But another reason why I could not, let me back this camera up here. another reason why I could not scan this and make it perfect. Don't let me scan back out. Is the tree area. Let me get a little bit closer here. It was very difficult, and that's how come I'm not going to make prints, because all of the details in the tree, all of the intricate details that I've got in the tree, no matter how hard I tried, and I'm just going to kind of scoot this back away and finish up here, because I think that's already a little bit longer than I intended for it to be. So I appreciate you sticking with me through that. Let me get my chair back here. But like I said, let me back the camera. Whoa! I didn't mean to give you a close up there. But like I said, one of the main reasons, and that looks kind of crooked, so I apologize about that. I hope that whole thing wasn't crooked, so if it was, don't get mad at me. This is just my first time I've done this kind of episode. But this area right here, I could not piece it together because I use photo merge in Photoshop, and it just, no matter how many different scanners that I scanned it on, it could not piece it together perfectly. So I could get this piece together perfectly here, and because all of this intricate stuff down in this area, which is tree branches too, something about that would be off. So there's not going to be any 8x10 prints, or probably not even 5x7, because you can see that, and that bothers me because I don't like to put out shoddy work. So whoever, I've held on to that painting, you know, for a long time. I'm real bad to get emotionally attached to my artwork, and the reason that is, and I know we're not supposed to as artists, but the reason I do, I guess it's because my time is so limited, you know, what I can spend on making original artwork. That causes me to, of course, get emotionally attached to it. I'm trying to get better about it, but I've had it for a while, and I've had it hanging up, you know, in my art studio, and I've enjoyed it for quite a while. But like I said, if someone is interested in purchasing this painting, you're going to have the only one. There'll probably, like I said, I might be able maybe to make some of those you know, the art card prints like I did. Those are the size of a baseball card, because it's so small you can't see the discrepancy where I couldn't piece it together correctly. Does that make sense? But you can see it in a 5x7, and you can also definitely see it in an 8x10. It just did not work. So I will probably, after I painted this painting, I was like, I've got a couple of projects that I would like to do, and one, because Alice in Wonderland, the original story, is public domain. I would love to take some of my favorite stories that I enjoyed when I was a little girl, that are in the public domain, and would have the right to do that, to go and illustrate some of my favorite stories, like when I was a kid. And this painting kind of, you know, spawned that, inspired me that maybe I might start doing that in the future. So so if I do illustrate, you know, like Alice in Wonderland, or Through the Looking Glass, or, you know, whatever the original story was called, I probably will not use this one, simply because of that. So this is a very special piece. You know, if anyone out there, if you're interested and you decide to purchase that for me, I sure will hate to see it go. That's terrible. I love it. I'm emotionally attached to it, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you did happen to be interested in purchasing one of my original artworks that I have featured here on the art showcase, I leave links in the description area for links to my eBay store and to my Etsy store. And the way I think that I'm going to do it, I first offer original paintings on eBay at Ronne Barton Art. Like I said, the links will be below, for like 30 days. And then after 30 days, I will move it to Etsy. If it doesn't sell on eBay, I will move it to Etsy for 4 months, because that's how long one listing will last on Etsy. And then if it doesn't sell on Etsy, then I'll go back to eBay for 30 days, or, you know, just something that's what I have in my mind anyway. So if you don't see it either place, then it's probably sold. And if it does sell, what I will try to do to keep people from going all over the place, well, I wonder if she still has this, I wonder if she still has that, I will, if something does sell, I will put like, this painting has already sold or something in the title, so everyone will know. But you know, you can still watch the video if you want to. But anyway, I promise I didn't mean to make that long, but I made it that long anyway. But anyway, I'll try to shorten some of my other ones. I think there was just so much detail and so much I wanted to say about this painting. The rest of my videos for the art showcase probably won't be that long, because they're not as detailed as this one, or not at least the ones that I have right now. Well, anyway, I'm going to end it there because I know you're tired of hearing me talk. So I will catch y'all in the next art showcase. Thanks for watching.